Hello, I got Skadoosh 94. So this one uses Eclipse hops, and according to the video that John Kimmick made, it's the first time they ever used Eclipse hops. They're from Australia, and I haven't had them too many times. I'm pretty sure I've had them before. And this uses pellets and also some Eclipse Spectrum. And I looked up Eclipse. And it has, I can't remember what hop oil. It has some hop oil in it that I'd never really seen before. And when I looked it up, it turns out it's like in celery seed and in calamansi fruit, which is like a South Asian hybrid orange, like a hybrid of a citrus and kumquat or something. So I guess it has somewhat unique qualities to it. 7%. Seems like they just use the same base for all the Skadooshes. I think maybe he mentioned they vary it slightly depending on the hop. Like some hops want slightly different malt bill. It'll work better. But let's go into this. Actually, I had some of this already, and it was very hazy, kind of incensey. It's just insanely fresh. This was released less than a week ago. Actually, I was driving to Vermont and was going to go to Waterbury, and wasn't planning on going to Stowe to the Alchemist, and then saw that they just released this, and I was like, I love trying the Skadooshes. So there you go. Yeah, the Skadooshes tend to be the haziest of Alchemist beers, in part because that's how they're brewing hops these days, to create a huge amount of haze. So in this little part down here, you can sort of see my finger. But up here, basically opaque. Looks fantastic. Really nice head. All the Alchemist IPAs always have a nice head. I mean, maybe this is a little less dense than like Focal Banger. Looks like orange juice. It's a little bit darker than orange juice. And it smells like... Yeah, it is. It does have this like deep orange oil thing. Yeah, and it's a little bit incensey to me, but I can see how it's just a different, unique citrus thing. And I've had a kumquat once, a fresh kumquat, and I didn't really like it that much. It was like too sugary sweet, and I guess it had kind of an earthiness to it. But this is bright, and it's incensey, and it's earthy at the same time. I'm thinking about the celery seed. Yeah, it does have something weird dankness that's like a green celery type thing almost. Very, very unique. And their yeast profile is, I don't know, it mixes with it well, or it just kind of gets covered up. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it tastes really good and not kind of weird. Big full mouthfeel. Similar taste. But yeah, it's a little too hazy. It's interesting that the Alchemist other beers, like I guess Crusher and Fogelbanger have gotten a little bit hazier over the years. Heady Topper hasn't really. But they're still not super hazy. You're not going to get a chalky hop burn sort of thing. And this is getting close to there. We'll see if it burns my throat after a few sips. Head's pretty good, nice lacing. Big, full, soft mouthfeel. Now I'm getting some of that yeast straining stuff from them. It's a little bit like candy apricot. But it has a little bit of a... Oh yeah, it's just like so heavily hopped. Oh boy. It's almost like it's too much. But I think that's what they're going for with the Skadooshes a lot. The one I got last summer, they did one that was kind of like, it seemed like it was just like amped up. It was like basically Focal Banger with Strata added. And that one is fantastic. This one, I don't think I like as much as that one. I should look up what number that is. But maybe this just needs to sit a little bit. Have it mellow out, maybe have a little bit of haze fall out. because it's really just got this incensey, almost overwhelming incensey, earthy, spicy thing going on. But very nice feel and carb, besides a little bit of chalkiness. It's more actually just the hop oils drawing out my tongue. It's not really like beers that are just too hazy or maybe have some, yeast in there instead of just the proteins and polyphenols that are probably what, make up most of the haze and hazy IPAs. Ooh, and it's got a good amount of bitterness too, but Alchemist usually does have a little bit of bitterness. Nice carbonation. But can I pick out any other flavors? Melony a bit. It has some stone fruit, but it's not like, this is not a ripe, juicy, sweet beer. And maybe it's like bitter grapefruit juice, white grapefruit. But then that spiciness and that kind of celery-like cooling green quality, really unique. And I guess this is an Australian hop, so it's not so far off from Galaxy, but definitely more unique from Galaxy than like Vic's Secret and some other Australian hops. Like it's different from Topaz. Is Topaz Australian? I think so. Mm-hmm. Very well made, and just lots of citrus, zesty, but also bitter, pithy. Well, it's just a bit. It's like, oof, whew. It's more intense than West Coast IPA styles, I would say. The bitterness level is way up there. They don't really tell you the IBUs. Apparently, I think they list Heady Topper at 100 IBUs. I feel like that one was a little less bitter than this. But very interesting hop. I'd like to try it again. Maybe used a bit more subtly or in a blend. Maybe it would be good to counteract Mosaic or Citra. For a rating, I don't know. I'm getting sick of doing ratings more and more these days because it's so subjective, and this one's just too taxing on the palate bitter wise. That's what I would say. If it was more easy to drink, I would give it a higher rating. Even though the feel is nice, the carb is nice, a lot of the things that end up making a beer unpleasant from a lot of the breweries, it's clean, happy yeast, proper yeast fermentation, no off flavors. It's really just too much of a hop smack in the face. So I'm not going to rate it.